Welcome back guys to my brand new tutorial. In today's video we're going to see how to access our individual tasks on our web page with Django and Python. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to like the video, comment down below and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my following tutorials. Alright guys, as I said, in this video we're going to see how to access our individual tasks. In the last video we created the forms.py file where we created our task creation form that helped us make tasks inside of our web page right here. Now in this video we're going to see how to access individual tasks. What I mean by that is we have right here all of our tasks. Now it's really not visually great to show everything on our home page. For example, this task date, and if we would have like 10 other fields, for example task description or something, it would be really hard to see everything on the home page. So what we'll do in this video, we will delete this task date field from our home page and just leave this task name, and when we click on this, for example, also like the video, we'll see all of our fields on that one page. So task date and is it completed inside of that individual page. So to access those individual pages, we first of all want to create our new URL for that. So you can just copy the line we had earlier, and inside of here we need to name our URL. We'll call it task. And now, since we need to access individual task, every task has its own ID. Now to access that ID, you want to pass right here int column ID. Now what is this? It's just a way Django knows, and you need to always put the slash at the end. Now what is this int column ID? So every task or every model has its own ID. Now we didn't actually create that ID inside of our models.py. That is because it's already created by Django, because we did this models.model parameter here. So every model has its own ID, and we can check that by doing, instead of our home.html, we can just copy this task date and just type ID, and inside of our double curly brackets also put that .id inside of that double curly brackets. So if we save this and go inside of our home.html, we can see it right here. So task ID is 1, task ID is 2 for this, task ID is, for this is 5. That is because we deleted a lot of our tasks in previous videos, so it is just saves that ID but doesn't save the model. That is why we have 5 here. Once I explained it all, now we can create a view for this task, for these individual tasks. Instead of our urls.py, we first need to pass it right here. So I'll just call it views.task. And inside of our views.py, we will make a new function to print those individual tasks on our new HTML page. So let's create a new function called task, because we called it right here task. You need to really make it the same. Now we always want to pass that request, and now you see this ID right here thing. You can call it also PK. Yeah, it's usually called PK to not confuse others with same ID names. This is just a shortcut for primary key. So it's the same thing, but you just want to call it not the same to not confuse yourself. We are defining this task function by passing request and PK. We got this PK from these URLs, right? Okay, so once we defined our function, we need to do the functionality. Same as here, we're going to actually copy that, and just instead of this all, we don't want to get all of our tasks, because if you click right here, we can't do that right now, but if we could click on this, also like the video title here, we don't want to get again the same page, right? You want to just see the details of this, also like the video title task. Okay, so by doing get, we want to get only one. So by doing all, you expect multiple objects, or one or multiple. By doing get, you expect only one, not zero, not more, only one. We can also import get objects or 404, but it's not really a deal to do it like this. So what we want to get ID that is same as this pk. I will explain it right now. So we call this task variable, or let's call it one task, because we will get only one. This ID is unique for all of these tasks. So every task will have their unique ID. Not every task is the same, so they need to have individual IDs. So, or sorry, unique IDs. So by doing that equals pk, there is only one task that has ID of 1. You see, if we create another database object, this one has 2. The deleted 2 database objects have ID of 3 and 4, and this one has 5. So that is why when you delete a certain object, that is why the ID is stored, so the IDs don't overlap. Once we got one task that has this unique ID, so for example, if we pass right here /task, and instead of this, if we, for example, type 1, now we won't see anything, but because we didn't create a HTML page, but if we pass this, we would have, so task and the ID of 1, we'll get this. If we pass 5 here, we'll get this one, comment something. So if I explained it clearly, let's just return our HTML page. So we can also copy this. I usually copy all of these things because we explained it in the earlier videos, so I don't need to explain it again. And just in the context, just pass that one task and one task, so we can see it on our HTML page. And I will call the HTML file, I'll call it task, or yeah, I'll just call it task.html. And in our main directory, in our templates, just call task.html. That's it. And now if we want to see our one task, in the previous video, or the video before that, we made a for loop to print those tasks. Now we don't want to do that, because by doing task.objects.all, this right here, we got multiple database objects, and we need to loop inside of them to get only one. Now we are only by doing .get objects.get, we only get one task, and we don't need to loop inside of that to get that task. We already got it, so we don't need to do any of the looping. We can just do task dot I don't know, name, and we'll get the title from that. Yeah, it's called name. So let me see if sorry, it's called one task. You need to pass the same as this one task needs to be same as this. So one task dot name. And now if we do it here, so task /1, nice, we see the title right here. Now it will be really stupid to put manually the IDs inside of our URL. we want to create a tag or href to, when we click on this, subscribe to all code Joker, it will redirect us to the task/1. Now, to do that, of course, we need to go inside of our home.html, and I will delete these two, since it will be really difficult to print all of this on one page. So we have only 3 tasks with subscribe to all code Joker, also like the video, and comment something. Wise words. Okay, so to do that, you want to go here and type A and just put it here. So the A tag refers to this task.name. So inside of our A tag, we want to put href. And now I will type this and explain it first. So I'll first type this, then explain it. What I'm doing right here. If you're coming from Flask, now I'm mentioning Flask in every of my videos, but Django and Flask are really the same thing. Django is a little bit more complexing, but okay, let's get to the point. So if you're coming from Flask, this is just pure Jinja syntax. So inside of our curly bracket and this %, like we did for this for loop, we're dealing with a function. So URL is a function. That's why we're calling this and not this. So again, if you didn't watch the previous video, go watch it. But this double curly brackets is when we want to call a value of this variable, and this is when you want to call a function. So for function, if function, and others. Just like for and if, URL is also a function. That's why we'll call this opening curly bracket and %. And just type URL task and task.id. Why that? That's because URL for task is coming from this name. So this name, when someone clicks on our task.name, so when someone clicks on this also like the video, they will be redirected to URL that has this that has name of this task. So Django will go, okay, let's go to urls.py and find the path that has this name task. So let's check the first. Okay, no, it doesn't have. The second one also doesn't have that task name. And the third one, okay, it does. So I will redirect it. I will redirect the user to this path right here. Okay, so if I made it clear, let's jump to this task.id part. So Django will now redirect it to here, but he doesn't have that individual ID thing. To get that, we need to pass also this task.id we got from this. So this task.id we got from this for loop. So we are looping. Let's change this to for name task. I don't know why I called it that, but you also need to change these two, just not to confuse you. I'm doing this for you. So now name underscore task dot id we're getting from this for loop, and so we are looping from all of our tasks, and we are getting that ID of that individual task, right? So if I made it clear, right, let's just refresh this page so we can actually see the changes. And now you see already it's highlighted as clicked. That's because we made it here manually. Okay, so let's click on comment something. We see it right here. That's it. We made it work. So now we can just style this page so it looks more detailed than the home page actually. Okay guys, I edited a bit this page, so let me take a look. So we have this task name, task date, and task completed with the checkbox. Now you see it right here. So we covered this part in the previous videos. I'll just talk about this one. So we have this again function opening curly bracket and also percentage sign, and we're checking if that one task, so this one task, is completed, or actually isn't completed because equals false. We're going to just display this input box, and yeah, you can check it or not, but it doesn't still have the functionality, but okay, we just have it there for the styling. In this next video we're actually going to make a updating functionality for the tasks, so we will make this actually work. If you like this video, make sure to check out the pinned comment of this video. I made you a free PDF guide on how to help you pass the beginner stage and escape the tutorial hell. And also I have got another great video right here on the screen. Make sure to check it out, and I'll see you in that one.